It is the Electric Picnic in Stradbally in County Laois, 2013. I'm joined by the fab band Peace, and congratulations, gentlemen, on your album In Love, which is fab indeed.
Thank you.
Joined by Harry and Dominic. And just before we were chatting, actually, before we get into the band, I was just chatting to Harry about. I was making this point that I'm not going to ask you a silly question like what's your favorite color, and you said that you're colorblind, and you know, I'm curious, does that affect the way you operate within the band then in any way than the rest of the guys?
I guess living your whole life knowing that you don't see the world in the same way as everyone else kind of has an effect on how you go about things, but I don't think musically particularly, but maybe with tastes to artwork and styling and anything like that, maybe it does sort of affect that, but I don't think too much with the band.
And is it something you're born with?
Yeah, comes on my mom's side of the family. All the males on my mom's side are colorblind.
I've never actually talked to somebody who's colorblind. I'm sorry, this is completely off topic about rock and roll and stuff, but you probably get bored about talking about the band anyway, really.
Oh, it's so boring.
It does get a bit trying, doesn't it, talking about bands talking about bands.
It's the worst.
It really is, but we'll have to do that bit in a minute anyway. But the color blindness then with artwork and all that, do you have to trust the guys on like the colorings and stuff like that?
Yeah, but sometimes I'll just have to insist. If it looks right, it looks right, and then people will be like, "It's a bit off," but I'll be like, "No, it's."
We almost got away with the album cover being pink.
Really?
I don't know.
Drummers always want the album sleeves to be pink. Why is that, Dominic? What's the story with that? What's going on with that? Are you trying to tell us something about yourself?
I like pink. But where's the backing behind that statement?
Well, there's an awful lot of research that was done by the University of blah blah. I'm only joking.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, guys. Seriously, the Guardian said, and you're well aware of, that you were the future of indie rock. That's a very heavy burden to carry around. How do you feel about that?
I feel it's really nice. I've never been able to quite work out whether. I think we started off as quite an independent band in that we self-funded all of our tours and we bought a van and just did it, and we did that for so long, and then after like 2 years it must have been like 2 years, we signed to a major label, and then everything sort of, we continued doing what we were doing, but the way we did it was differently. So it doesn't feel, whenever I think of the word indie, it seems like where we started at, and then now I just don't know where we're at.
Yeah, by definition, I guess we've kind of maybe moved slightly away from that,
but then I guess with music, but then I don't really.
But the responsibility, I'm saying, like
the responsibility
saying something like that, oh God, we've got to live up to something very big here.
It never did. I didn't realize. Now I can see. You know,
seems like so long ago that.
And I don't know. We never really accepted responsibility for anything. Or never really have. But it's kind of, you know, I guess it is quite a heavy thing, but it never really feels like it.
Well,
I think we're kind of on our way with. I don't know. It's never felt like a bad thing. It's always just been.
Of course, it's not a bad thing, but there's one thing I know. Just reading up a few things about you guys beforehand. That the internet. You hear about bands saying, "Yeah, the internet's fantastic. Yeah, you can get your music out to everybody. It's democratic and all that." You seem to have slightly different views about the internet and what it means to you and social media and all that kind of stuff. You're not all for it, are you?
No, it's always seemed like a double-edged sword. It's always been kind of scary, the idea of like this kind of thing being created. Like this, I always think of it as like a sub-universe that doesn't actually exist, and then how much of what goes into that rather than the real world, and it always really got to me how important like online statistics, which I guess like, you know, you can argue that sure you'll get more radio play or more attention if you've got more views on a YouTube video, but then I'm like, but what does it mean? I guess it means lots of people have watched it, or you can buy them. I've basically got a friend who does that for people. He'll buy like a couple of 100,000 YouTube views for like he did it to his he bought like 10,000 Twitter followers for his boss.
I've seen
and then told his boss and was like, as a prank. So it's like I know that this kind of whatever this sort of sub universe is that's been created, it isn't necessarily straight, and it isn't what it seems, and it's
It makes it a little bit more like
yeah.
moves it weirdly to the sort of more maths than like.
And it's
I
kind of
don't
like, you
know.
know, you can really give off a false impression on. You could make
Yeah.
out that you're, you know, way bigger than you are, or way better than you. I've just always felt more comfortable being in real life and
Me too.
judging
Call me old-fashioned.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'd
like,
rather sit here talking to you. Than
I'd
saying-
rather judge where we are as a band as how many people come to shows or
Yeah.
the response of those. Even if it's a small show, like if everyone there's like having really like invested in it, then that means way more than like a
I think
statistic.
it can get
but I
bands
don't
into
know.
trouble as well, because like you're saying, you can like manage to make yourself go out there, like you have 1 million views or whatever with this one track, but then like if a band's not ready to be doing that, then everyone loses interest. Whereas if it was the old days, then a band would be successful and known because they've got a good backing to, you know what I mean?
because
sort of
people have
fan
trusted it. It's
base.
a
Yeah.
meritocracy. Because yeah,
I
I
don't
suppose
think
I
you get
find
that
what I-
like that like emotional investment that
Yeah.
I used to put into bands.
Yeah,
know
excited
if
for a
that
record all
yeah.
year and you can't listen to it until
Yeah.
you've got that record.
But then
so-
again, it's something that's very real and does exist and is kind of silly
have
to
to deal
ignore.
with.
And it's like, but
and has helped us.
and yeah, and you know, also it's like you could say, well, if we hadn't put our first demo on YouTube, would anyone have heard it who potentially came and saw? You know, it's a
double-edged
bit of
sword,
both.
as you said at the very
but
beginning.
you know, I tend not to
Could've
let it
left at
get
that,
to me.
couldn't we?
Not really, no. I'd like to, we have to expand on things slightly.
Yeah,
And
but-
to matter is a bit more kind of Heat magazine. Did I read something about you at some after-show party with Finley Quay, and was there an altercation?
There
And
was.
if there was, please feel free to exaggerate about
Looking
it
back
and
at
what
that,
happened.
it's a weird like scenario.
It's
isn't
a
it?
very weird scenario.
Go on,
actually.
what happened? Because he strikes me as a very odd gentleman.
I think he just took a disliking to sort of, you know, it was the first time we'd played a big venue, and we were excited and had loads of our friends around, and it was like obviously at the after show thing, and we were kind of having a ball, and everyone was kind of friendly. Then I think everyone it all got a bit sort of heavy later on in the evening. I think he thought that we'd been saying things about him to girls or.
But were you just getting all the girl attention and he wasn't getting any and wasn't happy about that?
That's one way of looking at it, but also I don't know if he thought that we'd been particularly.
He's a very paranoid human being, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, but did it end in extreme violence?
No.
It ended. He went and bought a beer and then just poured it over Doug, and then was being really threatening.
Is
and
Doug
then
dead? Is he?
He's dead, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he? He died because of that.
He died
Drowned.
because of it.
He
Yeah,
dr-
he drowned in
There
Finley
you got it.
Quay's.
Doug,
Rest
in
he's,
peace.
he's
Peace.
dead. Sorry, lads, he's dead. He died because he drowned
We haven't forgotten
from
about
Finley,
you.
Finley Quay's
You're a
But I have
pint.
nothing
That's
against
way
the
better.
guy, and he's made some great music. And I mean, it was probably a big misunderstanding, but also at the same time, you know, you shouldn't really. I don't know. Just
Chill out.
Just keep it on a leash, man. You know.
Well, gentlemen, I won't keep you too much longer. You do have the heavy burden of being the future of indie rock.
We've got it sorted.
What's
It's
happening?
all under.
What's happening in the after In Love?
I mean, I guess.
Break up.
That's it. Breaking
it,
up.
it's over.
That's
It's
it.
alright.
Thank you very much. No,
Oh,
seriously.
No, I mean, everyone is just keen to. We're kind of on a roll. It seems to be. We're doing bigger tours and we're writing more songs, and I can't see any reason why we can't make another album soon. And everyone who works with us
As long
agrees.
as if Doug comes back from the dead.
I mean, yeah.
There's
if
loads of people that could do his job though.
Yeah.
so-
What's he do? He's a bass player, is he?
He's a
guitarist.
guitarist.
Is he?
yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
rhythm guitar? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
No, he's not
Oh,
He's
is it?
he's the more noisy guitar, the more sort of
He's the more Sonic Youth end of things.
yeah. He adds a lot of he adds a lot. I love Doug.
Poor old Doug. He's not even here to defend
yeah, he's
himself.
not, no,
That's what
I
we're saying.
Doug. We're only
Doug,
We're always mean to
Doug,
when
I'd
he's
go
not
out and do it out on a solo project. Dump these guys. You're the main dude.
no, Doug. But I mean, I genuinely see no reason why we can't just get on with another record, and no one at the label disagrees, and no one with any of our team disagrees.
Well, go with that for now because people change their minds very fast. Get it done.
Yeah.
Make a second album as fast
And
as
it's
you can.
like,
Yeah, man.
and I mean,
Seriously.
people have always said it's like really difficult. and it just doesn't seem that way. But then our first album felt like a second. Didn't feel like a second album. We'd done an EP that had done well. So then the first album was kind of like
I understand.
something with more pressure than a first album usually does, I guess. Because
So
people already
this
had
is
a
when
big
your
hit.
second album becomes actually your third album.
And then
Ish.
it's like, now this is the difficult. Everyone says it's difficult
Every album is
debut,
difficult.
difficult second
Every album
album,
is
that
difficult.
tricky third album that defines your career, that difficult fourth album after the third's done so well, the fifth album, the live. It's all not very hard, but people are going to say it is because otherwise.
Let's make a big
Why
deal
would
out
it
of
be
everything.
interesting?
Yeah, right.
But
Listen,
no,
Harry and Dominic, you're a fine gentleman.
thank
I'm
you
really
very much.
sorry
That's
about
you
Doug,
too.
and I hope everything works out for you in the future. And welcome to Selection Picnic. And I hope you have a brilliant day today.
I can't wait.
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited for our set actually.